Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another video, and we just did our power rankings. Now we're back previewing the week 13 games, guys. I'm so excited for this week. Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving slate's a little underwhelming, but you never know. I mean, there's been some weird upsets on Thanksgiving before. The Sunday night game honestly looks pretty good, but we're gonna kick things off with this first game, the Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. I said in the power rankings video, Thanksgiving, weird early Thanksgiving game. This has trap game kind of written on it, but I don't know if I could actually say that, because when I go through and preview these games, I'm gonna obviously predict the winner from each game. But the way that the Lions have been playing recently, I don't think I can safely and humanly predict that the Lions are going to be, or that the Bears are going to beat the Lions. I think I look like an insane person. I think I would have to go to an insane asylum to actually hear those words come out of my mouth, realistically and non-ironically. I don't think any of those words made sense, but you know what I'm trying to say here. But I think you can safely say the Lions are going to win this game. All I want to say is, just let me throw this out there. If it is a track game, just don't be surprised. But anyways, let's move on. I would say you have three major players for the Lions that are questionable, but they are expected to play. That's the David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Carlton Davis. On the Bears side of things, they should be pretty healthy. This is their best chance to prove themselves as a team, but I don't think it's going to happen. Give me the Lions at home. Our next Thanksgiving game, of course, the Cowboys have to play, and of course, they have to play one of the worst teams in the NFL. This is probably one of the worst games I've ever laid my eyes upon. I think I'd rather gouge my eyes out than sit there and eat my food and watch this fucking game. But that being said, sometimes there's a certain amount of fun that is in these chaos of games. Tommy DeVito is questionable, which is very interesting, because I don't even know who they have on their depth chart to back him up. I can't honestly tell you off the top of my head who their backup is to him. It might be Uncle Rico. It might be a random Walmart employee. I honestly don't know at this point or care. But obviously Dak Prescott is out. Cooper Rush is going to play. Looking at the injury report here, I don't really see too many. Eric Kendricks is questionable, as well as Zach Martin, but looks like they're expected to play. But yeah, Tommy DeVito is questionable. Let's see. Okay, I don't need to see every fucking team. But you see the little Q next to his fucking name, right? So we'll have to see. It is funny that Tommy DeVito is the Giants' leader in passing yards for the season, because they just said fuck you to Daniel Jones and released him. It was better for both sides, but you know what I'm trying to say. But now their passing leader for the season is 189 yards. Just thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, I don't think anyone's really going to be wanting to watch this game at all. And then coming in, oh my gosh, I do that every single time I do the power rankings video first. Our Thanksgiving night game should be a good one. We have the Miami Dolphins at the Green Bay Packers. I think this is going to be the time for the Dolphins to prove themselves here in this game. Tua Tagovailoa, this is his time to prove himself, especially in prime time against one of the better teams in the NFL. They've been playing some kind of booty teams recently. This is their time to prove themselves. Looking at the injury report, Jalen Ramsey is questionable, as well as Tyreek Hill. They are both expected to play, though. And Romeo Doubs questionable, but other than that, nothing really crazy for the Packers. I was supposed to see, it was such an ass cheeks matchup. I forgot. I was supposed to predict a winner for this game. To be honest with you, I don't really know. I think that the Giants are just more of a train wreck right now. I think I'd go with the Cowboys. They are at home, and Tommy DeVito is banged up already, so give me the Cowboys. But anyways, going back to this Dolphins and Packers game, this is definitely going to be a good offensive matchup. It's going to be cold. Give me the Packers personally, just because like I said, it's going to be a cold weather game at night in prime time. I think it'll be closer than people think. Probably like a 3-point game, but I think the Packers will win this one. Maybe off of like a game sealing Tua interception or something like that. That's my prediction. And then, oh my gosh, dude, Black Friday. Can we already just get rid of this? Black Friday matchup. We have the Las Vegas Raiders going up against the 10-1 Kansas City Chiefs. Gardner Minshew isn't even playing. He's out for the rest of the year. Desmond Ridder is going to be the Raiders starting quarterback. I mean, I don't think I honestly would probably rather watch Cowboys and Giants than watch this fucking game. Isaiah Pacheco is expected to come back. I don't know if they would. Personally, if I'm the Chiefs, I would not bring Pacheco back for this game. It's absolutely pointless. But you never know. And then looking at the Raiders here, Aiden O'Connell is still on IR, and Alexander Madison is questionable, expected to return though. But yeah, this is just going to be an atrocious game. I mean, give me the Chiefs, obviously, but the two Black Friday matchups we've had so far in its existence has been just horrible. And then going into Sunday, man, we've got some crazy matchups here. Start kicking it off. This should be a primetime game. Can we flex this to primetime? The Ravens and Eagles. Actually, it's at 2:30, so we'll start. It's just popping up first because the Ravens are my favorite team. But let's move down to the actual morning games or early afternoon games, and that's going to be the Chargers and the Falcons. Honestly, I really like this matchup. The Falcons coming off their bye week, the Chargers coming off a loss. Looks like J.K. Dobbins is questionable, but expected to return, which is really good news for the Chargers. Eli Apple as well. He did get hurt in that Ravens game. He's expected to return. And then for the Falcons, they should be pretty healthy. But Darnell Mooney looks like he's questionable, but probably going to play. But this is going to be a really fun game. And honestly, I think the Chargers defense will be able to hang a little more than the Falcons defense. I think that'll be the difference maker in this game. And I honestly think they look decent against the Ravens. Justin Herbert's been having a pretty good year. Give me the Chargers. They're just going to play safer football. They're going to play defensive football. And Justin Herbert's going to take care of the ball. Give me the Chargers here in this one. But honestly, this will be a fun game. And then our next matchup is going to be another AFC North divisional game. You love these. You absolutely love these. And look at that. We have the Bengals expected to win this game. I don't think that the Steelers have played the Bengals at all this season. I don't think they've played each other yet. I could be completely wrong. But can we just get a round of applause real quick for the fact that we are going to get an AFC North Hard Knocks mid-season Hard Knocks? I mean, that is the best news I could ever hear in my entire life. I mean, that is what we've been wanting. But anyways, let's hop back into this matchup. You have really good defense against a really good offense, and then an atrocious defense against a okay offense. And this is going to be in Cincinnati. This is tough for me, man, because you just never know how these matchups are gonna go. But honestly, with the way the AFC North has been this season, it's been pretty much upset after upset. Give me the Bengals over the Steelers. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Ravens fan. I'm a Steelers hater. I mean, I am. And it could have a reason, to be honest. It probably is the reason. But let's be real. I think the Bengals have a chance to upset the Steelers, especially at home. And with how the Steelers offense has played in the past 2 games, it could give the Bengals defense a chance. If they step up whatsoever, then they will win this game. If not, they're going to lose by like 3 points. There's no in between. And then our next matchup, honestly, this should be a good one. 2 teams trying to prove themselves, the Vikings and the Cardinals. This is in Minnesota. Honestly, I think that it is so hard to beat the Vikings at home. I feel like they have such a cool stadium. They are 4-1 at home, probably 5-1 on the road. But I am going to take the Vikings in this one. I think the Cardinals will lose this game very closely, though. I think it'll be like a 3-point game, maybe a 6-point game. Um, but definitely a one-score game. Matt Prater's on IR still. Looks like he is going to come back for this game. Other than that, though, I don't really see too many injuries. Cam Robinson is questionable. The tackle that they traded for to replace Christian Darrisaw. He's questionable. Expected to return for this game, though. Ivan Pace is on IR, which is freaking Cole's boy. Honestly, such a big part of this Vikings defense. So that is kind of scary if you're a Vikings fan, but I still think the Vikings will win this game. And then going into our next game, we have honestly not that fun of a game. The Colts at the Patriots. And this has trap game just written all over it. This has the classic Patriots trap game written all over it. Josh Downs is questionable, expected to return. And looking at that, that's really it. Looks like the Patriots have some offensive line injuries. But honestly, I'm taking the Patriots in this one. I think this is going to be a classic Patriots trap game. Like I said, Drake May is going to work some magic. And I think this will be another disappointing Anthony Richardson game here. Jumping into our next game, let's see what it is. Seahawks and Jets. Man, is this a trap game as well? People have, or at least ESPN has the Jets winning this one. I don't know if I'd go that far. In New York, the Jets coming off of a bye, Seahawks coming off of a big divisional win. Man, I don't know if I can say that I realistically see the Jets winning this. But this is what the Seahawks do, man. This is what the Seahawks do. They win a game where you think that they're actual contenders, and then they just lose a random game. Honestly, give me the Jets. I think the Jets will get back in the win column. I am saying it. Looking at the injury report, nothing crazy. Looks like a lot of their people are expected to return. Alan Lazard is not going to be in this game, though. He comes back next week, or expected to come back next week. But yeah, I'd still take the Jets here. I think this is going to be one of the. I think it says more about the Seahawks than it does the Jets. I think this is just going to be one of those games that the Seahawks just disappoint you right after kind of proving themselves. Jumping into our next game, we have the Titans and the Commanders. I think this is pretty safe to say that the Commanders will hop right back into the win column. I'm just waiting for that game, though, that the Commanders just really, really prove themselves. Let's look at their schedule because they have the Saints. I mean, honestly, if they win that, that's kind of impressive. Okay, the Eagles, if they win that, they would be contenders for sure. Falcons would probably be a good win. And then they got to beat the Cowboys in Dallas. But other than that, this team has had a very, very easy schedule. Let's be real here. But yeah, the Commanders. Oh my gosh, please don't. Okay, there we go. Commanders and Titans. I think the Commanders will win this game pretty safely. Titans did have a victory against the Texans, but I think they'll probably lose this one. L'Jarius Sneed is on IR, expected to return December 22nd. My goodness. It's in like 3 or 4 weeks. And Eckler, other than that, looks like the Commanders don't really have any crazy injuries. Their kicker expected to return on my birthday. But other than that, I wouldn't say there's too many injuries here, too many game-changing injuries. I definitely say that the Commanders are going to win this one, maybe by 2 scores at home, and probably redeem themselves. And then our next game, man, the Texans better not fucking lose this game. My goodness, the Texans better not lose this game. Texans in Jacksonville against the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence might come back for this game, it looks like. His estimated return date is December 1st, so Trevor Lawrence might be back in this lineup, which is not good for the Texans because I truly do think that he elevates his team a ridiculous amount over Mac Jones. But I got to say Texans, man. The Texans will win, but I think this is going to be a close game, especially if Trevor Lawrence is in here. They better not lose, man. The Texans better not lose, dude, or else they're cooked. They are absolutely cooked if they lose that game. And then we are jumping into our afternoon games. So we'll start with this glorious matchup here. The Philadelphia Eagles at the Baltimore Ravens, and ESPN has the Ravens winning. This is going to be a crazy game. Two of the best backs in the league, Saquon Barkley versus Derrick Henry. Two of the best rushing quarterbacks in the league. I mean, Lamar Jackson clears him, but still two of the most mobile quarterbacks in the league. And then, yeah, I don't know, man. This is going to be a crazy fucking game. The Eagles have Brandon Graham on IR. He will be missing this game. Devontae Smith should be back. Darius Slay should be back. Bryce Huff will be missing this game. And then on the Ravens side of the ball, really hope Roquan is able to come back. He is expected to come back. He was questionable for the Chargers game, so I'm expecting him to play, especially with how big of a game this is. But it is in Baltimore, which is huge, and maybe that's why the ESPN has the Ravens winning. But I don't know. I honestly am gonna take the Ravens here, even though it's hard. I would say that even though ESPN has Philly winning, I would say that they are. Or I'm sorry, even though ESPN has the Ravens winning, I would say that Philly definitely is the stronger team right now. But this just, as a Ravens fan, this is what they do. They go up against really good teams in the regular season, and they prove themselves. And it's always around this time of the year by blowing them out and then losing in heartbreaking fashion in the playoffs. So I guess it's like a win-win because either I'm right and they do that, or I'm wrong and they lose, and then they actually play well in the playoffs and they change that narrative. So, but yeah, this is going to be such a good game, man. I'm so excited. Kind of been a while since these two teams have played each other too. But yeah, this is going to be a great game. And then moving on to our next afternoon game, we have the LA Rams versus the New Orleans Saints. Honestly, this is kind of a fun matchup just because this is two teams who've been missing key players throughout the year, whose I would say their records are don't really tell the whole story of how well they've played in the games that they've had these key players. So it's kind of the same narrative matching up against each other. Saints are favored in this game, but I am going to take the Rams. I think Matthew Stafford, this is going to be like a 3-touchdown game, and they'll win by like 7 points or something like that. I think I'm safely going to take the Rams here. Chris Olave is on IR. The Saints have no receivers right now, pretty much. Not expected to return for 2 more weeks. And other than that, I don't really see any huge injuries. Tyler Higbee is missing this game. And they have Rob Havenstein coming back. Charles Woods coming back. I don't see anything crazy here. But yeah, I think I am going to take the Rams here in this one. They'll go to 500. While the Saints will probably, if they lose this game, I think can kiss playoff football goodbye. And then moving on to our next game here, we have a NFC South divisional game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Carolina Panthers. I got to go Bucs here. As fun as the Panthers have been this season, honestly, the Bucs have been just as much fun with Baker. Mike Williams will be in this game. This is definitely going to be a Tampa Bay win here. No key injuries for the Bucs. Miles Sanders, don't really care about that for the Panthers. It's going to be a fun matchup. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Personally, I think we could see each team having like 30 or more points, but I still think the Bucs are going to win in a shootout here. But like I said, this is honestly going to be a fun matchup. And then our next game, this is going to be our Sunday night game. The San Francisco 49ers versus the Buffalo Bills. Brock Purdy should be back this week. In fact, Trent Williams, Charvarius Ward, and Nick Bosa, all very key players for them, are expected to return, or at least expected to play for this game. And then looking at this for the Bills, Matt Milano is expected to come back, and no key injuries other than that. So it's going to be a healthy matchup between these two teams. I would say if the 49ers haven't been so disappointing, it would be a really fun matchup. But I still got to take the Bills. I think the Bills have been looking so dominant recently. It's in Buffalo as well. Brock Purdy's going to be coming back from injury. He's going to be a little rusty. And I think the Bills will win this, sending the 49ers to probably be pretty worried about their position in the NFC. And then our Monday night game, honestly, I'm watching this game. This game looks like it's going to be so much fun. The Cleveland Browns versus the Denver Broncos. Jameis Winston, every single time that dude plays football, I want to watch it. But the Browns get a lot of rest because they played a Thursday night game, and now they're going to play a Monday night game. So the Browns getting a lot of rest. The Broncos have been playing just at a different level than we thought they would at the beginning of the year. So honestly, like I said, this should be a really fun matchup. But looking at the injury report here, don't see anything too crazy. Josh Reynolds is expected to return after being fucking shot. So Josh Reynolds expected to come back. And then other than that, I don't see anything crazy. Mike Hall Jr. for the Browns, not going to make this game. But I don't know. I don't think James is going to work his magic this time. I think the Broncos will win this game at home on Monday night, and they will improve to 8-5. But yeah, guys, that's it for next week. That's it for week 13. Like I said, there's honestly a couple really fun matchups, just not really on Thanksgiving, unfortunately, but Sunday should be a lot of fun. Let me know what you guys think. I'll put the pick'ems in so that next week we can see how I did. But yeah, it should be a fun week. Let me know who you guys think's gonna win, who's gonna lose, who's gonna be the big upset this week. Let me know in the comments. Make sure to check out our recap from last week if you haven't already, and our power rankings for week 13 if you haven't already. Subscribe if you enjoyed the videos. Like if you enjoyed this video. And like I said, appreciate the support so much. You guys have been amazing. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great Thanksgiving. Later.